Hi, my name is Richard and I'm a wilderness skills and survival instructor based up here in North Wales, which makes you ask, why am I presenting a series about air guns? Well, as a company, as Original Outdoors, we do a lot of work around foraging and wild food, which normally leads to a question of hunting and sort of acquiring small game legally in the UK, for which the answer to most people involves an air rifle, a sub 12 foot-pound air rifle, which you can use legally with certain restrictions and responsibly in the UK. So last year we approached Tony Dobson, who runs Tony's Camo on the outskirts of Chester, and we did a couple of videos with him, and then because they were quite well received, we went back to do a few more about the basics of choosing an air rifle and air rifle laws and air pistols and calibers and that kind of thing. And they were very well received by both our audience and his customers, because they're on his website as tutorials now. So at the end of the summer, we started discussing the idea of me coming over and starting to film a dedicated series, Airgun Basics, which would take us from somebody who doesn't own an air rifle right through to, at the other end, having eating a rabbit that they have legally and responsibly and ethically shot and cooked over an open fire somewhere out here in the woods. So that led to a bit of planning, and we had to do some careful thought about how we were going to go with that. But that's what we have now, is our Airgun Basics series. So it runs over about 8 episodes with a few extra bits thrown in maybe. But the first thing to say is it doesn't answer every possible question you might have about using an air rifle. What it does attempt to do is go through the really big questions, such as legally purchasing it, and what do you do once you purchase it? How do you get it home legally? How do you store it when you get it home? How do you maintain it? How do you fit the fairly expensive telescopic scope that you've bought, and how do you mount that on the rails? How do you mount the moderator? How do you charge it with a pump? If you've chosen a pre-charged pneumatic like this one, or if you had a Springer, what do you do with that? How do you zero it in? How do you find shooting permissions? What are the laws around shooting on private land? What are the laws around shooting near a footpath and things like that? As well as just target shooting and some skills and some things that might be useful, how to judge distances, how to work out what distance your target is from you, whether it's hunter field trials or whether it's shooting small game, or whether it's hunting, pest control, all of those things. So this series will attempt to answer the big questions from that list. But I know already that you will have questions, or some of you will have questions that we haven't answered, and we can't hit everything in a short series. Otherwise, it would just be 5,000 hours of content online answering every single small question. So if you don't get an answer from one of these videos, or you think that you'd like to know more about that subject or one of those aspects of shooting with an air rifle in the UK, and things might change as well, because the laws do change, and we're making these videos in November 2017. If the law changes in early 2018 or 2019, then this video might be out of date and some of the information there might be redundant. So if you need more information, no matter what, then there are several avenues open to you. The first is either go to your local shooting range or air rifle club or shooting club, and there are some dedicated air rifle and air pistol shooting clubs around the UK, as well as general shooting clubs that do work with air rifles. You can go to an air gun dealer. I can obviously recommend Tony if you're somewhere in North Wales, but anywhere that is a good gun dealer should be able to answer some questions for you, particularly if you're buying several hundreds of pounds worth of equipment from them. If you go to somewhere like the British Association of Shooting and Conservation and their websites, they have a whole section dedicated to advice for air rifles. So there are lots of avenues open to you, and you could always just throw a comment in below this video or the relevant video on the series, and we'll do our best to answer them. I will say, though, that if you may have noticed, if you look for advice online and just ask a question on a forum or a Facebook group, or even YouTube comments, then it quickly can descend into an argument with very conflicting advice. So I would really say go and speak to somebody in person if you can, rather than just online. There are some great online resources, and hopefully this will be one of them, but go and do your own research. Go and speak to a real human being if you can, and get the best possible answer for your country, if you're in the UK or outside of the UK, or just your area, because the laws around owning an air rifle at the moment are different in Scotland to England and Wales. So do the research for your area, for your country, and make sure that whatever you're doing so legally, responsibly and ethically. Thank you for watching. If you would like to like this video or the videos or subscribe to the channel, that's great. But if not, just sit back and hopefully enjoy the videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again next time.